This episode of Marvel Standom is presented by eBay. We're all looking forward to Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the epic conclusion of James Gunn's trilogy about everyone's favorite spacefaring misfits. But as part of that conclusion, we're going to see how Rocket got his start. Every hero has an origin story, so fans can pay tribute to one of our favorite Guardians with this brand new and totally adorable eBay-exclusive Funko Pop Flocked Baby Rocket from Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Remember, eBay is the only place to score the Guardians of the Galaxy Flocked Baby Rocket Raccoon Funko Pop, which is an exclusive eBay drop. Head on over to eBay on Tuesday, April 11th to get yours. We got the first full Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer. I did not think I could get more excited for this movie. And then I got a shot of Ben Reilly, like in the proper, like blue hoodie costume, which is just like how it should be. So where's everybody falling on this? Can they recapture the magic of the first one?
I mean, it sure looks like it, but that first one is such a miracle. It should not work. I mean, we kind of touched on this before we started recording, but Spider-Man's not really a multiverse character. And that's kind of weird to put him in that. And then, you know, when you're going into it, you're afraid that Miles is going to get buried under all of the Spider characters. And yet somehow that first movie pulls it off, where this is a Miles Morales story that still has multiple Spider-Men, that is all crazy and bonkers, but still has real genuine heart and character development. And I see zero problems in this trailer, but it's just, how are they going to pull that off twice? And yet I see this scene that we've got pulled right up there, just the little school conference scene. And I'm so excited to see that family again. And so I hope so. I really do. But I don't think people understand how badly the odds were stacked against that first movie and what an achievement they had to tell something that complex and moving and rich and palatable to all audiences. It's outstanding.
I think you have to remember as well, before it came out, the advance word on it was it's good, but it's not going to do numbers. You know, the tracking for it wasn't great at all. And then it was very much in doubt as to whether there was going to be a follow-up. When they announced that there was going to be a sequel, everybody was, everyone was pleased, but kind of surprised in a good way. So it's amazing that not only are they doing one more, they're doing two more, and they're expanding the scope of it so much. It just looks sensational.
I mean, gun to my head, that first one is my favorite superhero movie of the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Like it's not even particularly close. I mean, it's like, look, I have basic bro opinions to some degree. Like, yes, I think the Christopher Nolan Batman movies are that great. Yes, I think Logan is that great. But the first Spider-Verse movie is just like, you know, I think this is something that will be talked about in 20 years in ways that, you know, a lot of MCU entries just simply won't be, you know, even like the good ones.
I think that's absolutely right. Particularly when you get, you know, you have people talking about what are the best superhero movies of all time. And people go back to, you know, Christopher Reeve and so on. But genuinely, I love the MCU. I am not sure the MCU has ever produced anything as good as it's produced a lot of great stuff. I'm not sure it's ever produced anything as good as Into the Spider-Verse. And that's purely because I think Into the Spider-Verse is as close to perfect as a superhero movie can get. It is astonishing start to finish. And I absolutely love it. Oh yeah, this frame here with the three of them pointing at each other, this is my only bit of reticence here. It's like, don't do a joke about the meme. Oh no. It was tired when the first film came out.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I've got against it.
Yeah.
But like you said about that Ben Reilly, like not only is it a great to see that Scarlet Spider costume with the blue hoodie and everything, the fact that it is rendered as an almost perfect pastiche of the art style of Tom Lyle, the artist who really made that costume. Just absolutely great stuff. I'm really looking forward to this film.
Tom Lyle, super underrated artist of that era as well. Like Tom Lyle, I recently went back and like started looking at all the stuff that guy did. And it's like, oh my God, like we never appreciated Tom Lyle.
Yeah, much missed now, of course. But yeah.
The Clone Saga is I read the Clone Saga as it was coming out, folks. Like I was deep in it. I was working in a comic book shop. You know, I'm older than dirt. And like even at the time, I was like, this is really bad, but I wanted to see where it was going. But I, at one point, was all in on the idea that Ben Reilly was the real deal. Like I was there for it. I'm like, great, this is cool. If they're going to do this stupid thing, like we may as well go all in. But that Scarlet Spider design is probably what was carrying me across the finish line for that. It was just, it's so awesome. If I was in the kind of shape for it, that's the one thing I would potentially cosplay as.
Well, speaking of cosplay, as a tubby middle-aged man, I've got to cosplay as Jake Johnson's Spider-Man because that's the only one that fits my body type. So I was glad to see Jake Johnson come back here. It sounds like, you know, we're kind of all pulling from the same era of Spider-Man comics. So as much as I appreciate Peter Parker as a teenager and a high schooler and all that, I still like my Spider-Man is married, full-time job Spider-Man. And you see that rarely explored. And Jake Johnson is so perfect as that older version of Peter Parker that I want this to be Miles' story. And I still want him to have the focus, but I was so glad to see him as a parent. We so rarely see that version of Peter. And it's such a perfect arc for him.
They seem to be going in the direction of making Miguel O'Hara, Spidey 2099, into effectively the villain.
Well, that ties into the confession I was about to make, because I have never read a Spider-Man 2099 story.
They're so good. The original run with Rick Leonardi on art, absolute chef's kiss. It is so good.
How's the new stuff? The stuff that Steve Orlando has been writing? Because I am a Steve Orlando fan.
It's not the recent event that he did, the 5th week event that he did was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's good. The thing with 2099 is that whenever Marvel goes back to it, they have this tendency to say, oh, we're going to do 2099 again. But should we do any of the 2099 stuff that people remember? Yeah, let's make us some new stuff. No one wants your Daredevil 2099 or whatever. Just Miguel O'Hara dressed in the old costume, pander to us old people.
Give us Ravager 2099. That's what we all want.
Jesus. It's nice to see Oscar Isaac clearly trying to make up for his Moon Knight performance with this as well.
I don't know why he would need to do that, but it is nice to see him or hear him. I hope he does a British accent at some point.
That would be nice. I was really tired, and I was doing a bunch of work. So I was popping in and out. I managed to see the trailer. But I was on Twitter and I saw that people were saying, oh, the reason that people are mad at Miles in this movie is because he's got parents and none of them don't. And I was like, wait, is that true or is that a joke?
It might be.
And Miguel's mom, spoilers for 30-year-old issues of Spider-Man 2099, but Miguel's mom's still alive.
Okay.
It is the least spoilery spoiler ever. But yeah. Just in case
Folks,
anyone was invested
Andrew
on
was on
whether...
top of it.
I guess in terms of the other spiders, Gwen Stacy's parents famously dead. Miles is alive. Peter's trying to untangle the history of Peter Parker's parents is ludicrous. Like they were spies and they were killed by the Red Skull and they got brought back as robots by the Chameleon, and
Okay.
Nobody ever cares about Peter Parker's parents. I don't know why they keep going back to that. That rewatching those Amazing Spider-Man movies, it's insane that they thought that would be the hook. Is what's up with Peter's parent? It's nobody ever cares, ever cares about that. The one thing I was going to say is I've not read Miles' comics in a bit. So is his dad alive in the comics? Because in the video game, he's not. And I wonder if that has more pull with people. I don't know. I worry for his dad in the movie, especially kind of some of the things they're saying about you can't save both sort of thing. And I love Brian Tyree Henry. And so I'm worried.
Yeah, Miles's parents, alive or deadness, is a kind of a movable feast. Like,
okay.
It depends on whether you're in the Ultimate Universe or our universe, and depends who's writing the comic.
Gotcha. And he's not named Jefferson Davis anymore. We've all recognized that was a just horrible idea.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh,
what is happening?
So let me tell you about the United States. It's super racist, and
okay.
And the super racists in the South decided that they needed to be their own country, and because they wanted slavery to stick around. And the man that they elected for president for their super racist own country was named Jefferson Davis. And so for a Black character to be called Jeff Davis in any time after that, it's a problem.
Why would they do this?
Bendis has given a reason.
Is Bendis that did this?
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Oh my God.
And Bendis's Miles comics are good. They are generally it's the good Bendis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's the good Bendis and there's the bad Bendis. like Bendis's Miles comics, like for the most part, are like the good Bendis, except for things like this.
But anyway, in the movies, Brian Tyree Henry is amazing. And the first Spider-Man movie is such a good dad movie. So I'm really worried about that. I mean, the scene in the first movie where his dad comes to visit him in the dorm room, and he's been tied up and can't respond. And that's such a perfect blend of just a good plot moment. We know why Miles has been bound, but it's also such a great character moment to kind of address that tension between the two of them. And that's the moment where Miles comes together and realizes he's both his uncle and his father. And it's so well done. It's just, the whole movie, is crazy and bonkers as it is, it stops and it slows down to just focus on a shadow under a door while the dad has this confession. It's moments like that really make that movie, more than all the popcorn lights, multiverse crazy stuff, which is all excellent. It's that sort of stuff. And so I'm really worried for his dad from here on out, but Spidey's got to suffer. I know that's the way of a Spidey.
I love that we all love these movies. Love that first movie so much that we've done like 20 minutes on a 2-minute trailer.
Amazing. I almost derailed us as well by talking about Batman Ninja, but that will have to wait for another.
We can do a DC Standom episode on Batman Ninja, because I am also a fan.
Mike, I would love it.
Good.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that soon, because I'm due for a Batman Ninja rewatch, and also Batman Soul of the Dragon. But anyway, we've already gone long. I apologize, folks. I'm not doing a good job of keeping us on track today. In the coming months, we're going to have some really cool interviews on this show as well. Don't forget, folks, we are also at Marvel Standom on Twitter and Instagram. Drop us a line. Let us know your burning questions. Tell us. Don't ask us. Tell us what you want us to cover in upcoming episodes. And don't forget about our DC show. Check out DC Standom when you can on all major podcast platforms, as well as our paranormal horror and supernatural show, Talking Strange, hosted by the brilliant Aaron Sagers. Now, if you came in late today, you'll be able to watch this entire episode on denofgeek.com or at our YouTube home, Den of Geek US. And don't forget to check out past episodes there, and also wherever you get your podcast. Thank you to Andrew Halley, the best producer in any corner of the multiverse. You were on the ball today, pal. Special shout out to Michael R. He makes the podcast version of this show all it can be. And most of all, thank you all for watching, listening, following, and subscribing. This has been Marvel Standom on the Den of Geek Network. Until next time, remember, folks, we stand together.